Christmas. As for me, I've been ill over Christmas, would you believe it? It seems every Christmas over the last few years I've got some kind of virus. But then just about everybody I know has had a virus of some description this Christmas, so it does seem to be, at least I've been in good company anyway. One of the things that I've had to do, because the illness lasted about 5, maybe 6 weeks, I can't remember now, but I seem to have watched an awful lot of television since I've been ill, which is something that I do not normally do. I'm not a television fan, but I've watched so many movies and so many soaps. Some of the movies were about Christmas, of course, all about the magic of Christmas. I've yet to find any magic in Christmas, but a lot of the movies were about that. Movies about Santa Claus, of course. One of the things that did kind of speak to me was a program called Emmerdale Farm, which is a program that is done up in Yorkshire. That's where I'm from, so I have some interest, though I do not normally watch this soap, but I did watch every episode since I've been ill. And in this program there's a guy called Zach Dingle, who's a bit of a roughneck, or has been. He's getting a bit old now, but he has been a bit of a roughneck. And on the Christmas Day episode, Zach said to his son Sam, "Sam, where are you going tonight, lad?" See, I've still got the accent. And Sam said, "Well, I'm going to the hospital, Dad, to visit my brother Cain. Cain, someone's put Cain in hospital because he's a roughneck like his dad, and somebody's injured him very badly, so he's in hospital." And Sam said, "I think I'm going to go and see Cain tonight, Dad." And Zach said to him, "Why do you bother with him, lad? He's bullied you all your life. Why bother to visit him now?" And Sam replied, "Well, Dad, it's Christmas, and we are supposed to forgive at Christmas." Zach's retort was the bit that interested me, because this is what he said back to Sam. He said, "Sam, don't give me that Christian nonsense, especially not on Christmas Day of all days." And I had to kind of smile at that. Though I didn't smile because I thought it was funny, it was the irony of the whole thing that made me smile. You know, most folks love Christmas, but the problem is that they don't want the Christ of Christmas. They don't want the truth of what Christmas represents. And what Zach said to Sam really sums it all up. Don't give me that Christian nonsense, especially on Christmas Day. You know, folks, the Bible predicted that such a day as this would come. A day when the nations would turn against God and his Messiah. You find it in Psalm chapter 2 and many other places also. Through this website, I try to demonstrate what is taking place across the Western world. And that is a rejection of Christ and a rejection of Christian values throughout the so-called Christian world. It's never been this bad, not since the conversion of Constantine, the so-called conversion of Constantine in the 300 AD or 325 AD, somewhere around about there. It's never been this bad since that time. As we enter into a new year of 2012, we have no guarantee that things are going to get any better. The world economy is in a mess. All the forecasts are very, very gloomy. The question we ask is, will the European Union survive, or will it collapse? No one can predict this right now, and if it collapses, it will bring down many economies with it. No one can pretend that the world is not on the brink of something very, very serious. The so-called Arab Spring, which the Western leaders hailed as something wonderful, is now turning into just mass killings in many of the Arab countries. So what is going to happen to this world in the future? I know one thing for sure, the more we get rid of Christ from Christmas, the worse it will get. You know, it's really amazing that when things go wrong, how we shake our fist at God and blame him, and we say things like, where is this God of love that he should allow such things to happen? But the rest of the time, we agree with the words of Zach in the soap opera. Don't give me that Christian nonsense, especially on Christmas Day. You know, folks, we are our own worst enemy. For all the evidence of a creative God, we still reject him. And then, when things go wrong, we blame him. The one that we say doesn't really exist, the one that we ignore, we blame him. The attitude of mankind can be summed up by our own Prime Minister, David Cameron. He recently said, it's time that we returned to the values of the Bible. Whilst he said this, he is doing his utmost to destroy those values. There's an old saying, you know, there is none so blind as those who will not see. So mankind doesn't really have a leg to stand on when things go wrong, because mankind ignores the only one who can help him, and that is Jesus Christ. That's the message that we bring at Christmas. So, is there any good news for this coming new year of 2012? Well, of course there is. There's plenty of good news. Listen to the words of Jesus when he said, I have come that they might have life and have it to the full. You'll find that in John's Gospel, chapter 10 and verse 10. And that's an offer that we seriously need to take up. The problem with preachers such as me is that we always put a condition on everything, don't we? And that's what people don't like. Oh, there he goes again. If only you do this, if only you do that. But you know, any farmer will tell you that you will only reap what you sow. Any farmer will tell you that. It's common sense. If you sow bad seed, you will reap bad fruit. If you sow no seed at all, then you'll reap nothing. But if you do sow good seed, then you will reap good fruit. That's the law of nature. It's the law to be found in the Bible. And any farmer will tell you that. It's just simple common sense really, isn't it? So let me show you some of the seed that we should be sowing in the new year of 2012. And this will bring fullness of life. First, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. Secondly, trust in Jesus Christ. And thirdly, follow Jesus Christ and obey his teaching. Let's bring Christ back into Christmas. Then we will reap a happy and blessed new year. I just wish you all now a very happy new year, folks. God bless you all. Bye for now.